What's up, people? How you doing out there in the land of Earth? On this planet Earth? Greetings from San Francisco, California. It's your man in the house once again, Josh Parkinson, founder of Post Planner. What's happening? Oh, meeting starting now. Okay, there you go. What's going on, people? Greetings from San Francisco. Hope everyone's having a great morning / early afternoon / late evening / morning / middle of the night, depending on where you are. Why don't you go ahead and tell me where you guys are so I know what's happening? We got any people in the house from the United States? What about the UK? Just go over to the comments. Olga, what's going on? Welcome to the webinar. Welcome to boot camp today. Good to see you. Where are you at in the world? We got Michigan. We got Dallas. Damn, now they're starting to roll in. Arizona, Poland. Nice. From across the pond over there in Poland. Good to have you here. We got LA in the house, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Chicago. Damn, we got all the big cities covered. Florida, great to see you guys. Well, it's June. Summer is in high. Summer is now rolling on right now. I mean, actually, we just had the official first day of summer. Yesterday? So I hope you guys are all having some good weather up here in the northern hemisphere. It looks like most of us are up here in the northern hemisphere. Sometimes we have a few people from Australia or New Zealand or South Africa log in, but for the most part, I think we're in the northern hemisphere. So we're enjoying summer. Yeah, baby. Vancouver, nice to see you, Tweeda. I'm gonna be up in Vancouver in about 2 weeks, heading up there to Whistler to with my family. We're gonna go up to the resort and enjoy the summer up there in the mountains. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Very excited. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great summer so far. I just spent the morning dropping my kid off at summer camp, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, summer is in full effect here. Even though in San Francisco it's still a little bit cloudy, but that's how we do in the summer. We get the fog here in the summer. So what can you do? Well, let's jump right into it. I'm glad to see all you guys. Hope you guys are excited to learn about how to send qualified leads to your website from social media. I'm going to show you some of the best secrets that I know today. And hopefully we can help you guys get a little bit more traffic and get the kind of traffic that actually turns into customers. So let's jump right into it. Now, this is all about social media traffic, right? We're going to be talking about how to get traffic from Facebook, from Pinterest, from Twitter, from all these social networks. And so we got to, in a sense, what we're talking about here today is social media marketing. And I always like to start with the why when it comes to social media marketing. Why are we doing marketing on social media? Well, like we just talked about, the main thing is that we want to get traffic back to our website. And, I like to think about this in terms of, as you guys have probably heard, my famous fishing metaphor. You guys are out there on the high seas of the internet. It's a vast ocean. It's so massive that you can't even really fathom it. There's just so many people. There's so many websites. There's so many options for people out there. You're out there. Your little website is out there floating in the internet somewhere, and you're just trying to get people to come to that website. And hopefully the people who come to that website are the kind of people who you can actually turn into customers. So I like to think about it in terms of fishing. You're out there on the high seas. You're trying to get the fish that are most likely to get into your boat. You're trying to get them close to your boat so you can actually catch them. And that's what you're doing on social media. You got your website, you got your branded page. If you came on the boot camp last week, hopefully you even have a couple buddy pages that you've started. And you are out there and you're trying to get those fish into your boat, and that boat is your website. Well, how do you do that? Well, in social media, the easiest way to do that is you got to start by getting the fish around your boat. And the way you do that is chum the waters. You chum the waters with that engaging, free, inspiring, educational content that you just put out there for free. It's free food. You throw out the free food, attract the fish, And then once you have a big school of fish hanging around by your boat, which is a big group of fans on your page, then you start to drop in the links back to your website, which I like to call the hooks, right? So you chum the waters with that engaging content. And once you got those fish biting, then you throw in the hooks. And the hooks, you reel them in, take them back to your website, and then you start converting them into customers. Now, just so you guys can have a nice little visual of this, I have a couple favorite pieces of content I'd like to share here. Let me share my screen. One of those babies is right here, and that is this is to help you visualize chumming the waters. All right, here you got your fish out there. You guys can't, yep, you guys see my screen. You get your fish out there on the high seas. You're going to throw in that free food, that engaging content. You're going to get those fish close to your boat. Then you're going to drop in those hooks and pull them in. And here's the video version of that. You guys ready for this? Chum King!
George's Tackle Locker, presented by Chum King. Put fish into a feeding frenzy.
Effective chumming requires that you broadcast your chum throughout the target area.
Broadcast your chum throughout the target area. The target area is your fan page. You got to broadcast that chum throughout the fan page, throughout the target area, so that you can get your fans clicking and engaging.
When I'm bottom fishing, I not only rely on blocks of chum to bring fish up to the surface, but I also want to stoke the fish's interest in the middle level of the water column, such as kingfish, mackerel, and cobia, and also along the bottom for grouper and snapper.
There you go. You got to get your chum throughout the target area so you can get all kinds of fans. You got to get the fans on top of the water. You got to get the fans. You got to get the fans up here close to the chum. You got to get the fans down here in the mid level. You got to get the fans down there on the bottom, those bottom feeders. You got to get them up there by your boat as well. So that's how you got to do it. You got to chum the waters. Now, let me get back on screen here. So you guys know that when it comes to social media marketing, we got to chum the waters. We got to chum it with engaging content. So what is the best kind of content that you can get out there to get engagement? Well, one of the best that we found are images. Now I'm just going to quickly, because we got to get to the main point, the main part of this webinar quickly, and that is how to create those blog posts that lead to qualified leads coming to your website. But before I do that, we got to, if we're going to talk about the hooks, we got to talk about the chum. So I'm going to show you very quickly what you need to do to quickly get some data-driven chum. Now, I didn't mention that term before, data-driven, and you remember that's everything we do. We want it to be driven by data. We want to be making informed decisions about what we're posting on social media. And if we're going to put chum out there in the waters, we don't want to just throw out chum and hope that the fish bite on it. No, we want to throw it out there and be pretty assured that when it gets out there, it's going to attract a lot of bites. So what we need to do is we need to go out there, find a data-driven quote, put it on a background image, put our logo on there, and then get some design software, put it together, and put it out there. Now, yes, it does sound familiar, Madi. I'm talking about some familiar stuff, like I always do, but I think it's important for the people who are just joining to get this material as well. I'm going to try to get through it quickly, but always good to have this. So one great way to do that, what you want to do is you want to go out and you want to find a data-driven piece of content that's already performed well, something like this. This I found in the Post Planner app. And then you want to turn it into something like this. So I've grabbed that quote, I threw it on an image, I found a background image, I put my logo on there, and I had a success. I got 1,700 likes, and it reached about let's see here. This one reached about 130,000 people. Not too shabby. So that's what it's all about. You want to go out there, you want to find a data-driven piece of content and turn it into your own, so you can chum the waters with something that is somewhat guaranteed to get engagement. Let me show you how quickly I can do this by using Post Planner. I'm going to head in here. I'm gonna go into quotes right here. I'm in the app. Oh, I gotta share my screen. Sorry about that. Sorry. So let me go back over that one more time. So I found this image. This image is a 5-star image in Post Planner. It's got 52,000 shares. It's probably reached hundreds of thousands to millions of people. I'm gonna grab that quote and I'm gonna turn it into an image like this. All right. Has my logo on there. Has the same exact quote, and I put a background image on there. This is what you're trying to do. Now, I'm going to quickly show you how I do that with Post Planner. I'm just going to do it on the fly or as you watch me, all right? First, I'm going to go to Post Planner. I'm going to go to Quotes, which is in the Find section. This is the home page of the Post Planner app. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and I saw one earlier today that I want to use, which is this one right here. I like this one. This one's pretty sweet. Birthplace Earth, race human, politics freedom, religion love. Nice. We can use that quote. And I think we can easily find an image of Earth. So let's see if we can do that very quickly. Let's go. We can go in here and we can use Pexels. Or actually Unsplash. I've shared these with you guys before. Let me share them with you again real quick. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't share my screen with you. Okay, so there's Unsplash. This is the one I'm using right now. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to type in Earth. Okay, not too shabby. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this one because it's dark. I know I can use a white logo on it. So there it is. And I believe I can just drag. I'm going to have to download that. So I'll download it. I can just drag it over into Photoshop. Now let me switch my screen to Photoshop. Oops. Let me get the screen on Photoshop here. All right, there it is. There's my image. I got it for free from Unsplash. Now I simply have to, I gotta get that quote from Post Planner. So I'm gonna do birthplace, Earth, race, human, politics, freedom, religion, love. I copy that. I'm gonna go back here. You guys didn't see me do that, but I just copied that. I'm gonna turn it into a white font, and there we go. We need to have that a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and do race. Oh, this is kind of screwed up here. 1 second. All right. Politics, freedom, religion, love. Not too shabby. Let's blow that up so people can see it. Make it 300. Not too bad here. Let's make sure these are all consistent. Religion, love. Maybe what we can do is make these all caps. That might be cool. Another space in there. Human. Another space in there. Freedom. Space in there. Love. Space in there. All right, cool. I like. Looking good. What do you guys think? Do you think this is gonna do well? Birthplace, Earth, race, human, politics, freedom, religion, love. Now I just need my logo, which I'm gonna pull in from my desktop. I'll copy that, throw that here. Let's put that down in the corner right there. Oh, not too shabby. That took me what? 3 minutes? Not bad. I'll save that one. And let's see, desktop, Earth, save it. Boom, done. Let's throw that. We'll throw that out there on the Post Planner fan page today. Let's see how well it does. And while we're at it, hell, why not we just do another one? Let's see if we can do another one. Then I'm going to ask you guys which you think is going to perform better. Then we'll come back next week. Let's do this one right here. Putting your phone away and paying attention to those talking to you. There's an app for that called Respect. Oh, snap. All right, let's use that. Let me. Oh, I'm still sharing my. You know, I wish that we could have automatic screen sharing of exactly what I'm talking about. Sorry about that, guys. Now let me share my screen here. Let's see. Boom. Okay, this is what I was looking at. I'm back in the Post Planner app. I just made an image for this one, right? Birthplace Earth. Now I just found this one. Putting your phone away and paying attention to those talking to you. There's an app for that. It's called Respect. All right, I'm gonna whip up this into an image real quick, and then I'm gonna ask you guys to vote. Which one do you think is gonna perform better during the week? And we can come back next week and see if it works. Okay, so I'm gonna go up in here into the search box here, and I'm gonna type this in: putting your phone away and paying. Look, people are always already searching for that. Attention to those talking to you. This must be common. There's an app for that. It's called Respect. Booyah. Okay, I copied that. Now I'm going to go back into Unsplash, and I'm just going to type in phone. See what we can find here. Booyah. This one's perfect. Again, black, so we can know that we can have a white. And I think that kind of fits with the quote. So I will download that. I will pull it into Photoshop. Now let me switch my screen to Photoshop. All right, back in Photoshop. There is my image. Type that in. Putting your phone away. I just paste it in the quote. And maybe what we can do here, we'll try to keep it as similar as possible, just for testing purposes. Maybe we can put this down here. And pay attention to those. There's an app for that. It's called Respect. Let's see if we could probably blow that up even a little bit bigger. What do you think? Boom. And wow, where do you think we should put the logo here? Let's see what we can do with the logo. Let's go. I got to get my logo here, drop it in. Oh, I already have it. There it is. Copy. Throw my logo in here. Maybe. No, not there. Maybe here. Let's try it there. Let's just dim it a little bit. What I can do is make the opacity just so that. There we go. Not too shabby. All right, let's check it. Putting your phone away and paying attention to those talking to you. There's an app for that. It's called Respect. All right, cool. Save. App. Desktop. Save. Okay, guys, what do you guys think? Which one's gonna perform the best? Which one is gonna reach the most people? Which one's gonna get the most engagement? What do you guys guess? Is it gonna be this one? Birthplace Earth? Just type in the comments. Do you think it's gonna be Earth or phone? Earth or phone? What do you guys think? I want to put you guys on the line here. What do you think? Earth? Ooh, Earth. Lots of people saying Earth. Ooh, it's an even split. People think the phone one. Oh, the Earth. All right. Everyone put your answer in. Earth or phone? Earth or phone? And then once we get all those answers in, oh, I guess, Leanne, we probably should have used the poll for this. But Leanne's going to do a little rough count of all your answers, and she's going to put that in here in a second. All right? But we're going to take a little count there. All right, cool. So hopefully you guys just learned how easy that was. That was so simple, right? I did 2 images in like 5 minutes, okay? I went to Post Planner. I found the texts. I decided which ones I wanted to use. I grabbed the 5-star or 4-star texts. I went to Unsplash, grabbed an image, just did a simple search for phone or Earth, found a free awesome image, threw it into Photoshop, added the text, and done. I'm done. Put my logo on there, and now I'm done. Okay, cool. So that's just to give you an idea of the Chum. Now, I know a lot of you guys who've been on these webinars before, you've seen me do that, but I wanted to do it again for all the new folks. just to show you how easy it is. And you know, we'll see how these things perform next week. But I have a good feeling that these guys are going to outperform, just like because they are data driven, right? These images, these texts we took from images that have already performed well. So we can predict pretty confidently that they're going to perform well on our page. All right, cool. That's the chum. There's all kinds of other chum you can use. We've talked about before, sharing other people's videos or sharing your own videos, doing live videos, using status updates, asking questions, adding GIFs or GIFs, however you want to call them, which are the images that move. All these things, and even sharing other people's content, sharing other people's articles, you know, sharing articles that don't go back to your own website. All this is considered chum, all right? This is all you're giving away free stuff. You're giving away free food to the fish. You're feeding them. You're getting them biting. You're getting them clicking, with the whole purpose of eventually dropping in those hooks. And that's what we're going to talk about now, is how to create those hooks, all right? So let's do that now. Now, let me show you just very quickly, just to give you a little bit of context, what's happening on, for example, the Post Planner fan page. You can see this kind of chum and hooks happening here. Here we just advertised our, this is actually right here. This is a hook, right? This one that you're seeing. Oh, I gotta share my screen. Sorry, guys. I always forget. All right, 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna go over to the Post Planner fan page. There it is. Here it is, Post Planner fan page, right? And let's see if we can see the chum and the hooks here. This one, this is the boot camp you're on right now. So this right here, this is a hook, right? This is taking you back to Post Planner's website to sign you up for a webinar, to get your email address, to turn you into a lead for us. And this is actually a really great piece of a really great hook, because anyone who's actually clicking this link, like you folks who are here right now, you guys are qualified leads for us at Post Planner, right? If you think about it, because you need to know, and because you want to know about, and because you want to learn about driving traffic to your website with data-driven visuals, well, the Post Planner helps you do that, as I just showed you, right? So merely by the fact that you clicked this link or that you signed up for this webinar tells me that you're a qualified lead. This is exactly what you guys want to be doing with your content, right? You want to be creating content that when people click it, it signifies to you, it shows you, it's explicit there that they are a potential customer of yours. So this is a nice this is a nice hook right here, okay? Let's see if we can see some chum. Chum, that's an image. Here's a hook going back to our website. Chum, an image. A hook going back to our website. A hook going back to our website. Chum. A hook going back to our website. This is our website, right? Yep. Chum, and you can see it's happening right here on the Post Planner fan page. This is the technique we use ourselves. So I don't just come on webinars and tell you to do it without actually doing it myself. We do it ourselves, okay? So there you go. So now you have a pretty good bit of context. I've showed you how to create one kind of chum that we find very effective. I've showed you how it looks on a fan page. Now let's get into it. Let's talk about how I can help you guys create those pieces of content that you know, lead to, when people click on them, you know that when they arrive on your website that they're a potential customer. Well, let's jump right into it. You got the best way to get you quickly into it, and you know, I did that with the chum. I tried to give you a really easy way to do it. The best way you can do that here is to write blog posts, all right? Blog posts are just the best way to create content that you can share on social media and get qualified leads back to your website. But it all comes down to one thing, and that is the topic, or the topic or the content itself. What is it about? How do you choose content how do you decide to write content that you know will function to bring back those qualified leads to your website? Well, we follow a philosophy called jobs to be done. And what this does is it makes you think about what jobs your customers are hiring your products and services to do. And then you write content based upon those jobs. It's very simple. Now, I can share with you quickly a blog post that I wrote on this, and there's a video in there that you can watch. So, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to jump into this question here with Amin very quickly. What if you're a retailer with multiple products? It's a good question. You're going to have to talk to, as I'm going to show here in a second, you're still going to have to go out and talk to your customers, all right? You want to go out there and you want to talk to you. If you're a retailer and you have people coming into your store, then you're going to want to interview those people and ask them, what it is they're struggling with that brought them into your store. And of course, there's going to be a big variety of answers there. There's going to be a big variety, but what you're going to try to do is you're going to hone in on the most common ones. So let me share with you my public blog post strategy worksheet so that we can talk about that, and I can show you exactly how to do this. So this right here is, go head over to this spreadsheet, and I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see it. All right, cool. Oh, you're an online retailer. All right, well, same thing. It doesn't change. Even if you're a brick and mortar one or if you're an online one, it's still the same. You still need to go out. You need to talk to your customers. So jump into this strategy worksheet and go to the first tab that's called My Jobs. That's where I am right now. And what I've done is I've given you an example. Okay, this is an example customer interview. Now I'm pretending that I am a guiding shop. Okay, so last week I shared with you guys my buddy page, and we're going to talk about buddy pages again in the future, but not today. I did a buddy page that's on rock climbing, and so I was trying to think of a. Let me jump on camera so you can see me and I can explain this a little bit better, just so you can understand. So the whole idea here is that I am a shop. Let's say I'm just like Amin, okay? I'm a shop that sells, instead of selling a lot of various products, I sell mainly various products about outdoor sports, okay? I sell climbing gear, I sell snowboarding gear, I sell tents. I'm kind of like an REI, if you guys know REI, okay? Let's pretend like I have a store like that, and I have scattered stores throughout the West, okay, throughout the Rocky Mountain area in California, and I am online. I'm on social media, and I'm trying to come up. And I also sell online, just like Amin. I sell stuff online, okay, and so people can come to my website and they can purchase tents, or they can purchase rock climbing gear, or ropes, or outdoor clothing, all that kind of stuff. They can purchase that on my online store, okay? So I'm on social media and I'm trying to come up with some ideas for hooks. I'm trying to come up with ideas for blog posts that I could write, okay? So here's one that I thought of. This person is John, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to get back into sports. Let me share my screen with you guys. One of the other services that we offer is that we also help. This outdoor sports store. It also helps. It also provides guiding, right? So if people want to get outside and go outside and go on a day trip somewhere, a day hike, then we have guides that take you there. All right. So John came into the store, and we either emailed him, or we stopped him in the store, or we had his phone number and we gave him a call, and we interviewed him. And he said, this is what he said. We asked him, so John, what were you struggling with when you decided to, come into our business and hire us? And he said, well, I did a lot of climbing, camping, hiking when I was younger, but since then I've been working in the city and starting a family, and I don't have any time to get outside, and I've lost my confidence in my abilities, and I've kind of let fear creep in. So I was struggling with these feelings and struggling to find a way to get outside and do some fun, thrilling activities in a safe way so I can get my confidence back. So we talked to John, we interviewed him, and this is what we found out. And we took notes on it, right? In our sheet here, we took notes. And then the next question was, okay, well, what was holding you back from buying? You know, what was holding you back before you decided to buy? You were thinking about buying from us. What was holding you back? John said, well, I thought it would be too expensive. It would be too logistically difficult and just too uncomfortable for me. That was what was holding me back. And then I asked him, okay, well, what was the thing that put you over the edge? What convinced you to buy? And John said, well, I was sitting on the subway and I saw this guy with a backpack, and he was backpacking. It looked like he was backpacking around the country and traveling. And he looked really happy and free, and it was really inspiring. So I thought, man, I'm just going to go for it. And so he went and he bought from us. Okay, that sounds good, John. Since purchasing the product or service, what is the benefit you got? And John said, well, I feel connected to nature again now. I feel connected to doing daring and risk-taking. I feel connected to the daring and risk-taking side of me that I hadn't been in touch with for a long time. And so we took all that information, all of this stuff right here, and we tried to figure out, okay, well, what is the job that John is hiring us for when he comes into our store? Well, basically, he's not hiring us for any one specific product or service, right? He's hiring us to feel young, strong, and free again, right? That's the job that he's hiring us for. Maybe he bought a tent. Maybe he bought a day trip out guiding and rock climbing. Maybe he bought a harness. Maybe he bought a snowboard. But really what he's really buying here isn't those specific products. It's being young, feeling young, strong, and free again. That's the job he's hiring us for. Okay. Now, I wouldn't go ahead and write an article just based upon this one interview, because that wouldn't really be that. I wouldn't be being data driven if I did that. Okay. What I want to do is I want to do several of these interviews. I want to do 20, 30, 50, 100, 200, 1,000 of these interviews. All right. And then eventually, let's say I do 100 of these interviews. It's going to take time. It's an investment. But I'm telling you, it's the best investment your business will ever make. You cannot invest enough in understanding your customers' struggles and why they are hiring you. If the more you invest in this, the more stuff you will sell and the better your business will do, the more money you will make. So you cannot do too much of this. I cannot stress that enough. You cannot do too much of talking to your customers, okay? Now, back to it. Say that we did 100 of these interviews with John and Jane and 100 other people, all right? And then we noticed that, out of those 100 people, 40 of them have the same thing here. 40 of them are coming into our store and buying from us in order to feel young, strong, and free again. That's really the job they're hiring us to do for them. Okay, that's 40%. 40% of the people who came into my store are hiring me for that job. Then I can be pretty certain that I can create some content around that job that I can publish on my website. And when I do, and when people click on that and come to my website, I know that they're qualified customers. I know that I have products and services that I can sell to them very easily. They're in need of those products and services. So I hope that makes sense. Let's pretend that John isn't just a single person. John is a series of like 40 customers who are all, maybe they're buying different products, but in the end, they're really hiring us for that one job to feel young, strong, and free again. Okay, cool. So we have that job down. That's when we go over to the blog post worksheet. And I have this example from Post Planner, so I want you to ignore that for now. I'm going to shrink that. I'm going to hide that row for now. And we're going to concentrate on this row, okay? What I did is I took that job and I plugged it in here. The job that this post will relate to. So I've decided, okay, I am going to write a blog post on this job, related to this job. Okay, how can I do that? Well, let's think about the intent of someone like John who is searching for content. Well, let's say their intent is, how can I find a guide to take me out rock climbing? Now, this is an important distinction here. Let's go back and say, my store doesn't even provide guiding. Okay, my store only provides stuff like the gear. So the only thing my store does is sell ropes, it sells harnesses, it sells shoes, it sells clothing, it sells tents, it sells all that outdoor gear, just like REI. Okay, I think REI does have guiding, but let's say this is a store that doesn't sell guiding. That doesn't mean that I still can't write on this topic, right? Because think about it. If I write on a topic like this, and let's say my headline ends up how to find a local rock climbing guide, and someone clicks on that headline, or my social headline ends up how to get off your butt and go rock climbing outside today. Imagine the kind of people who are going to click on those kind of headlines. Imagine the searcher in Google who's going to click on this, who's going to write a search query, end up with search results that include this headline and click on it. And then think about a person on Facebook or Twitter who sees this headline and clicks on it. Both those types of people are exactly the kind of people who could be great customers of mine, right? Because I sell ropes, I sell gear, I sell clothing, outdoor clothing, I sell tents. Anyone who's going to click on how to find a local rock climbing guide or how to get off your butt and go outside, anyone who clicks on those headlines, I know that they are potentially customers of mine. And that's exactly why I'm going to write a blog article on this topic, all right? And that's exactly why it leads back to this right here. This job that John and those 39 other people are hiring my store for, all right, to feel young, strong, and free again. So going back, I decide, okay, the job is to feel young, strong, and free. That the person who's searching for content is looking to find out how they can find a rock climbing guide, all right, someone who can take me out rock climbing. The struggling moment is they struggle to get outside from the city, right? They're stuck in the city. They're stuck in their family life. They're stuck in their day-to-day life, and they're having a hard time getting outside and getting outside of the city and going out in the mountains and doing some climbing or some camping. And well, clearly here it's climbing. So they're struggling with that. They're struggling with finding a partner to climb with, right? Rock climbing, you have to have someone else to go with you because you have to have someone to belay you, okay? So they're struggling with finding a partner. And they're struggling with purchasing or owning all the required gear. So lots of sports like rock climbing, they require a lot of gear. You have to have ropes, you have to have a harness, you have to have shoes, and you also have to have a partner who has all those things, okay? So this is kind of the struggling moment of the person who's typing in, find rock climbing guide, for example, or local rock climbing guide, okay? This is their struggling moment. Okay, so we've identified their intent. How can I find a rock climbing guide for the day? Here's the struggling moment. The topic keyword we're going to go for is local rock climbing guide. All right, and then the final thing that we have to answer is, how will this post address user struggling moment? Well, this post will explain how someone can find a local rock climbing guide who can take them out for a day or for a full expedition. Okay, this is what the post is going to explain. And then we got the SEO headline here, how to find a local rock climbing guide. That's our title. And then we have the social headline. We have a headline that we use on the post itself. And then we have a headline that we use in social media, okay? And that is here, how to get off your butt. And this is going to be a little, we're trying to be more clickable on this one. So we're going to, use a little bit more colloquial language. We're going to use, all caps. We're going to use exclamation points. And we're going to do that for our social headline. So our social headline is going to be how to get off your butt and go rock climbing outside today. So I hope that you guys are thinking about exactly this process you could do for your own businesses. All right. And now I'm going to show you how to get started and do the hardest part, which is I'm going to get on screen here, which is the intro. Okay. Everyone who blogs knows, everyone who writes knows that the hardest moment there is that blank page, right? You just to get started writing is the hardest moment. So I'm going to show you a trick, a little formula that you can use, and we're going to use my rock climbing, the example that I just showed you. And I mean, literally, you saw this I mean, you're looking at this blog post strategy worksheet, and all that stuff that I wrote, I literally wrote it like in 5 minutes before this webinar started. Okay, so it did not take me a long time to get those basics there. And you guys hopefully know your customers relatively well, and you're going to know them a lot better after you interview them and go through that process. But you guys, since you guys know your customer and your industry so well, you'll be able to fill that out very easily as well. But now, once we have that filled out, that row there, now the question is, how do we transfer that information into an opening intro so that we don't have to face that blank white page? How do we take that row of information that we plugged into our spreadsheet, and how do we turn it into paragraphs of text that open up the blog post and set us up to finish it? Okay. Again, the hardest part is getting started. Once you're started and you have that intro, then it becomes a lot easier to fill in the rest of the blog post with the information that you promised to provide in the intro. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to write it. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so we're back on the blog post worksheet. I've got this all filled out. We got this whole row filled out. Awesome. And remember, this is all based upon my jobs where I did the interviews. And I went back here and I found those 40 people, and they all wanted to feel young, strong, and free again. So I decided to write an article on how to get outside the city and go rock climbing. Okay. Now I have all this filled in. How do I write that intro? Well, here it is. Here's the formula right here. Okay. You're going to start with a question that asks explicitly about the struggling moment or intent, C or B. So I'm going to ask explicitly about how to find a rock climbing guide or one of the struggles here. Okay. And here is where, so let's go over and let's create a new, I'm going to go into my Google Drive so we can do this on the fly. Let's do a new, you can do, I mean, you guys are using WordPress or HubSpot or whatever. You can do this right inside your website, but I'm going to do it here. So first of all, I'm going to put in my headline. There's my headline. Okay. How to find a local rock climbing guide. And then let me move this over. So I am on, okay, I'm sharing my screen. Just gotta make sure. Okay, so there's my title, How to Find a Local Rock Climbing Guide. What's the first thing I need to do in the intro formula? Ask a question explicitly about the struggling moment, C or B. Okay, so I'm gonna ask one, something. I'm gonna ask the reader. So remember, the reader's landing on that page. I'm gonna ask that reader a question. And the question is gonna be about his intent, this or this. So here's what I came up with. I'm going to throw it in here. And again, I wrote this, you know, in 5 minutes. Here it is. Here's my opening of my blog post. Are you aching to get out of the city and do some climbing again? Want to feel that sense of risk, challenge, and sense of accomplishment when you reach the top? All right, boom. There's my question, okay? That question is specifically about here. He struggles to get outside the city. He wants to go get a guide to go rock climbing. He struggles to find a partner and struggles to have the gear. All right, well, I'm going to start my blog post with, are you aching to get out of the city and do some climbing again? Want to feel that sense of risk, challenge, and sense of accomplishment. Remember, the job they're hiring us to do is to feel young, strong, and free again. So I threw that in there. I referred to that as well in my intro, right? Want to feel that sense of risk, challenge, and that sense of accomplishment when you reach the top. Okay, boom. I got my first couple sentences of my blog post intro. All right, what's next? Let's go over here and see. Well, part two, next thing is an empathy statement. Now, an empathy statement is, I say this is optional, but I think this is pretty important. This is the I feel your pain sentence, right? This is the, you know, I understand where you're coming from sentence, okay? This is where you show your empathy with the reader and you say, hey, I know what you're feeling. I understand that struggle you're having. I've felt it before too. And you know, you just demonstrate that to the reader. And here's what I came up with. I get it. These are some of the best feelings in life, and many of us haven't felt them since our 20s. Okay, we got a pretty cool intro so far. Here we go. How to find a local rock climbing guide. It starts out, are you aching to get out of the city and do some climbing again? Want to feel that sense of risk, challenge, and sense of accomplishment when you reach the top? I get it. These are some of the best feelings in life, and many of us haven't felt them since our 20s. Ooh, not too shabby, huh? Not too shabby. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, so we got number 1, we got number 2 done. Number 3, very important. In this article, I will. Okay, in this article, I will, and then this is where you're going to tell the reader what information you're going to give them, which is basically how you're going to address their struggling moment, which is basically in our spreadsheet. That's E over here. All right. How will the post address the user struggling moment? This post will explain how someone has a little typo there. How someone can find a local rock climbing guide to take them out for a day or for a full expedition. Okay, boom. So there it is. I can literally copy and paste that, and that's really what I did. And I put that right here like this. No worries. In this article, I'll show you how anyone, including you, can find a local rock climbing guide to take you out for the day and get you climbing again. And maybe even get you prepared for a bigger trip or expedition later. Ooh, not too shabby, right? Not too shabby. So I got 1, 2, and 3 from my intro formula. I got the question, I got the empathy statement, and I got the in this article. And then a so you can, right? This is, so basically you're saying, in this article, I will do X so that you can do Y. Okay? If that makes sense. And what I came up with, you don't have to use the exact words of so you can. You don't have to keep it in one sentence. Here's what I did, for example. Keep reading and you will learn a guaranteed way to get outside ASAP and get doing some fun and thrilling activities in a safe way so you can feel young, strong, and free again. Huh? So I threw the job right in there at the end of the intro. Right? The job that they're hiring my store to do for them. They come into my store, they buy rock climbing gear, they buy tents, they buy outdoor gear, but in the end, what they're really hiring me for is to feel young again, to feel strong again, to feel free again out in the outdoors. Okay, so let's just read this whole thing one more time. And this is, imagine yourself, you are searching, you're this person, you're this John guy, you're online, you're on social media, and you see this headline, the social headline. You see the social headline. How to get off your butt and go rock climbing outside today. I see that. I'm John. I'm like, oh, damn. I've been thinking about going rock climbing just today. I was on the subway. I saw that guy. He was traveling. I felt, man, I want to get outside and go climbing again. I want to do some stuff I used to do in my 20s. I see this on social media, or I search for how to find a rock climbing guide, and I land and I see this. And then I land on this blog post and I read, are you aching to get out of the city and do some climbing again? Want to feel that sense of risk, challenge, and sense of accomplishment when you reach the top? I get it. These are some of the best feelings in life, and many of us haven't felt them since our 20s. Not to worry. In this article, I'll show you how anyone, including you, can find a local rock climbing guide to take you out for the day and get you climbing again, and maybe even get you prepared for a bigger trip or expedition later. Keep reading, and you will learn a guaranteed way to get outside ASAP and get doing some fun and thrilling activities in a safe way so you can feel young, strong, and free again. Boom. Do you think that guy is going to keep on reading? I bet he will. I bet he will keep on reading. And most importantly, the fact that he even clicked those headlines and ended up on my website reading this blog post means that this dude right here is a very qualified lead for me. I am very likely going to be able to sell him rock climbing gear. I'm going to be able to sell him a rope down the line, some shoes, even a guidebook, right? He's a perfect customer for me, and he has proven that to me merely by clicking this link and reading this blog post. All right? We have one more thing to do here, and that is step 5 is to repeat the headline as an H2. Now, let me show you quickly what an H2 is. If you go to the Post Planner blog, and you click on the latest one by Christy Hines, which is just an example. This right here, this is the H1, okay? H means header, okay? Header. and that's just a term for like HTML, the coding language that is used on the internet. Okay, H1 is the title. That's the most important set of words on the page according to Google. Okay, this is the H1. What we do is in our intros, look, you see here, have you ever wondered how you can make the most of your social analytics? You'll see that we follow this exact same formula, right, on our blog. And so if you want more examples of how we do it, you can just go look at our blog. But what I was wanting to show you was the H2, and this is the H2, okay? There's always only one H1 on the page, which is up at the headline, but your H2 is kind of the second most important body of language on the page, you know, second most important sentence on the page. And that's why we repeat our headline in the H2, in the top H2. And this is purely for social, SEO, right? We're going to repeat the same keywords that are in here. This one's social analytics. We're going to repeat that same keyword here in the H2, and that helps your SEO so that we can rank for that term, social analytics, or at least we're more likely to rank on that. Okay, so if we go back to my website, my article, I'm going to make this a little bit, you know, more like, oh, so that's the H1, how to find a local rock climbing guide. What I'd do is I'd just take that and I'd copy it down here, and it would probably be in a smaller font because it's an H2, not an H1, so it would look more like that. And there you go. I have my intro. All right, I have my intro. All right, let me get back on screen here. And again, as you guys all know, that blank white page sucks, right? That blank white page, like, you don't know where to start. Now I've just given you your intro, and just think if you had to finish that blog post that I just started with the intro, it would be a lot easier because you have like kind of you've already told the reader what information you're gonna give to them. And you already set the context, and now all you have to do is just, you know, you're an expert in your domain. You can write that relatively quickly. Write that out, write that blog post, try to make it as long as possible because Google likes longer and longer content these days. And then once you have that blog post done and you publish it, you have a perfect hook, right? Exactly what we kind of promised you with this webinar, right? That you have a hook that when people click on it, they are telling you, hey, I am a very highly potential customer for you. So please sell me stuff. All right? That's what they're telling you. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful, guys. Just to review, we started by talking about, you know, social media marketing and how what we're doing out there on social media is that we're chumming the waters and then we're dropping in our hooks. All right? We're fishing on the high seas of the internet. We're going out there. Our website is floating on out on the ocean, this vast ocean, and we're trying to get all the fish who can potentially be customers of ours to congregate around our boat. And the way we get them to congregate there is by serving free food. We throw out free food. We throw out inspiring, engaging, educational images. We throw out entertaining videos. We throw out articles from other people's websites that are educational and on topic, right? And we get all those fish to congregate around our boat. And once we have that nice little school of fish around there, then we write the blog post that I just explained, right? And we drop that in with a hook. And when they click, when that one of those fishes, or when many of them bite on that hook, we pull them into our website, and merely by the fact that they bid on that hook tells me as a business owner, this person right here, this guy's qualified. This guy, I can turn this guy into a customer, and I've just done my business a service by getting them to my website, introducing them to my brand if they haven't seen my brand before, giving me the possibility to capture their email if I have a pop-up that asks them to sign up for our list, or download an ebook or any of that, right? So I've given my business another qualified lead, and even if that customer has been to my website before, he's back again for the second time or third or fourth or fifth time, and I can continue to nurture that lead, and eventually turn them into a customer, which is what we all are trying to do, all right, out there as businesses. So there you go, guys. I know I cover a lot of the same type of stuff week to week for those of you who are coming week after week. But I try to put a new twist on it, or a new add a little bit more information each time to get you a little bit closer to really executing the strategy that we believe really works, and that is the chumming the water strategy. All right. And again, the most important thing of all is that you have those hooks, and that you create them in a smart way, that that when you have created them, they are valuable in the sense that they bring qualified leads back to your website. All right, cool. So we're done with the content. Let's see if you guys have any questions. Does anyone have any questions about some of the stuff that I've talked about? I'm gonna head over here to see if we got any. Doesn't look like we have any questions. Anyone have any questions that you want to ask me? I got about 5 minutes here. If you have anything you want to ask. Doesn't look like we had too many. I guess that just means that I'm just crystal clear. I'm a crystal clear teacher. All right. I just throw it out there, and it's just clarity, people. All right. Well, since we don't have any questions, make sure you go and go to let's see here. Maybe you know what I'll do is I'll add that. I'm gonna add that intro that I wrote into the public sheet. So let me do that real quick. I'll share my screen, so I think that will probably be helpful for you guys. Let's see here. I'm gonna add that. So here is the public sheet, okay? And then I'm gonna put example here. And then put it in there. Boom. So there you go. Maybe what we can do here. Let me see if this works. Yeah, there you go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so there you go. There's the example of the intro. I hope you guys take this formula and really run with it. Again, this is a public worksheet, so you guys all have access to it. You can have access to it anytime. And I'm going to just go ahead and unhide that other one, just so you guys can see it. All right, well, there we go. That ends another awesome boot camp. One second here. That ends another awesome boot camp. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And just one question, Latoya. So for my blog post, they ought to have a CTA. Yeah, that's kind of a whole nother. That's a whole nother. Let me share that worksheet one more time. That's a whole nother thing that we can get into later, Latoya, maybe on a future webinar about how the best, how to create the best CTAs on your website. You should definitely have a CTA, which is a call to action. If you guys don't know that other term, it just means you're telling the visitor to do something. Most often that is for them to add their email, so that you can add them to your list, and you can send marketing emails to them. But we have on our blog, you'll notice that we have a CTA in the form of a sidebar, little image there that you can click to start using our app. But we also have a lot of landing pages and CTAs about ebooks that we've released, etc. But that's a whole world unto itself. So I'm not going to get into that right now. But yes, you got to have those CTAs, and we'll hopefully cover that on a future webinar. So much to talk about. All right, guys, thanks so much. I really appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to come and hang out with me and let me talk your ear off. I hope I provided some value. And please don't forget to go over there to our bootcamp page where we have all of the videos. Leanne will share that one more time. Share that one more time, please, Leanne, where you can review all the past. Every single week we're diving a little bit deeper into one thing or another. Today it was all about writing that intro. But please come back next week, because then we can see which did we get any count on what the predictions were for the images? Earth versus what was the other one? Earth versus the phone. Did we 14 phone, 10 Earth? All right. let's see. We'll check it out next week. We're gonna post those on the Post Ponder fan page, and we'll see which one performs the best. And then we'll talk about it next week. All right, guys. With that, I'm gonna sign off. Wish you an awesome week. Peace out. Take care.